Okay, we are back for part 2. Welcome back, Diddy Bloods. Now, unfortunately, I made a slight error. This should just be +2 because in the calculations it uses strength for the to hit bonus. We have no strength, so it's not +4. It is simply +2. Apologies for that. Now, another thing I should probably mention is these other features on this page before we move on to spellcasting. So, proficiencies and languages. So, this is where I would get down into the details of your character and what they can do, just to help you remind. So we have tool proficiency, herbalism, weapon proficiency, simple, armor training, light armor, and you'll also see it in your background. Sorry about that. Freaking tool proficiencies. Yeah, this stuff. And also your race. It might not be the case, but I think just as a house rule for me, if you're playing a dwarf, I'm gonna make it that you know dwarvish, just cause you're a dwarf. Come on, bruh. I mean, obviously not all dwarves have to know dwarvish, but if you want to know multiple languages and you're playing a dwarf, I'm gonna let you know dwarvish as well, as the universal language in D&D is called common. So what I might do, languages, common, comma, dwarfish, dwarven, whatever, you get the idea. Tool proficiencies. As a druid, you get herbalism thingy. What's it called? Herbalism kit. I hope you can't hear my neighbor's dog in the background. That thing will be yapping for a while, so apologies if you can. And then I think from the background it was calligraphy or whatever. Carpet. Yeah, calligrapher supplies. Okay. Okay, bear with me. I'm just gonna go shut my window because these dogs will be pissing me off real quick. Alrighty, we are back. Okay. Any other proficiencies? Not that I can think of. Okay. Equipment. This is where I would write down leather, armor, basically everything in your starting equipment apart from gold. Gold will go to one of these. Hold up, let me zoom in real quick because I'm a blind boy. GP. Here we go. So gold. It says on the thing, I think druids get around 30, and then you get some from your background. Cool. So next, all right, features and traits. So this is where I'd add stuff from your class and race. So actually this kind of pertains to this. So as a druid, you know druidic stuff, so you can speak to, you're the Lorax, you speak with the trees. And you can see, you know, I know this because looking at the level, look here, Druidic, and then it explains it further down. Druidic, yeah, you know, secret nature language, and so I would write down here Druidic, and this is just for you to remember what your character has. You don't have to write down the description. It's just like so you can go back later and be like, what can I do that's really dope and cool and that I should totally use in my campaign? And yeah, obviously if it does affect your character's like abilities and stuff, feel free to like implement that into your thing. So for example, Primal Order gives us two options. We pick between Magician or Warden. So Magician would give us an extra cantrip. Warden, and it would give us a boost to our either nature or arcana checks, which is actually pretty dope. Me personally, I just like having more armor, so I would go with this. But like, if you want to be full like spells and incantations stuff, then go with the other one. So what would I put down for that? I'm tweaking. All right. Primal Order. Let's just screw it. We balling. We go Magician. So I would put down Primal or Magician. All right. And what does that look like? That looks like me adding my wisdom modifier, and you have to pick between arcana or nature. I feel like it's apt for a druid to have nature, so I'm gonna go put that there. Cool. Okie dokie. Next on the features list, every background comes with a feat. And if you're playing as a human, you get to pick 2 feats. By the way, just to specify, these are origin feats. So if you get to play as a human and you're a bit lost, just search up feats D&D 2024. Make sure you don't misspell feat. Like I just did fetters. What the heck? I wasn't even trying to do that. 2024. Yeah, don't misspell feet or you'll get some cursed stuff. Don't ask me how I know. Now, right. Origin feats are here. General feats are here. We want origin feats. So as a human, you'd get an extra feat. What does it look like? Looks like this. I've put this down in the guide. I've put a description of them in the guide, but also just feel free to look it up yourself. Going back to this, the feat says Magic Initiate Cleric. Another house rule I will implement. If the Magic Initiate specifies a class, like Cleric, I don't care. You don't have to stick to that. So for example, if you look at what is Magic Initiate, bada bing, bada boom, load please. Thank you. All right. So you get to pick 2 cantrips, and 1 level 1 spell, from a cleric, druid, or wizard class. I do not care. Pick any class you want. You could be a druid with Magic Initiate, and you can take more spells from the druid thing. Or maybe you want to take some cleric cantrips. That is absolutely fine by me. How would you pick those? You just type in what I just typed in, and then it loads. Cantrips are the first thing, so you look through all of these. These are all cantrips, so pick 2 of these, and then you pick 1 of these. 1 first level spell. And you can do the same thing for the wizard. I do not care. I feel like that's a stupid change they implemented. It never used to be like that, and I do not like it. But obviously, you know, you do you, boo-boo. Alright, next. And also you're probably going to write that down. Also, it might be helpful to write down what you took with it. For my character that I'm playing right now, I'm playing a wizard. I took Magic Initiate to get Mage Armor because it just basically meant I didn't have to like waste one of my spell slots to have armor, but like as a druid, I wouldn't need that because druids can wear armor anyway, so it's fine. Cool. So like, yeah, put all of your feats and like racial traits or class traits in this column, and it'll just help you remember what you can do. This is background stuff. I will leave that up to you guys to do. Like it's just your character lore. So like, character appearance, you can describe it. Character backstory. If I'm a druid, maybe I'm like, inside me there are 2 wolves. Yeah, cool. Next, spells. Spell casting ability. You will be able to determine this if you are able to cast spells, because you will see spell casting on your class page. Yippee. So it'll tell you everything that you can learn. It will tell you your spellcasting ability. So it says wisdom, and so spellcasting ability is wisdom. Or you can just shorten it down to whiz, because you know cal is short for calculator. If you didn't know, guys, I'm hip with the memes. Okay. Anyway, spell save DC. This is determined using an elaborate formula. The formula is, I know it, but just, oh, that's 3 L's. That's 1 L. Just, if you ever forget, you just, boom. There you go. So, for a druid, it becomes 8 plus proficiency bonus. So that's 10 plus our spellcasting ability, which, as we recall, was wisdom. Wisdom is 4. So 8 plus 2 plus 4 is 14. And spell attack bonus is just proficiency bonus plus our spellcasting modifier. So 2 plus 4, so it's a plus 6. Cool. And this is where you write down your cantrips. So this will tell you how many cantrips you know. Okay, 2 cantrips. Okay, from the druid thing. And you get more as you level up. 2 cantrips is not a lot, I'm gonna be honest. But that's okay, because we took magicians, so we get an extra cantrip. But also, we have Magic Initiate, so we get to pick 2 more. So instead of having just 2, we have 5 cantrips to pick. Very nice. So, for simplicity's sake, I am going to stick with all druid spells and cantrips because it's simple. But you don't have to do that, because with Magic Initiate, I'm allowing you to choose between druid, cleric, and wizard. So, a great cantrip for druids is this one, Shillelagh, and I will accept no other pronunciation. What is Shillelagh? It is basically you turn your staff into a magic staff and you smack people with it. So what I like to do is, like, I just take a screenshot of this page here, and I like have a like new notes thing open on my phone, and I just like upload the screenshot onto that, and I just like title the notes thing like wizard spells, and I'll just like chuck it all there just so that I don't have to like rely on my internet, because sometimes that thing be slow. So this is to do with combat. It's a combat spell, so it's a bonus action, and it works on yourself. It uses all 3 of the magical components. So V stands for verbal, so you have to be able to speak. So if someone gags your mouth, or if there's some sort of magical thing preventing you from speaking, you can't cast the spell. Semantic, so you must be able to gesture with at least one hand. So like what that would look like is you're holding your staff, and like you wave your hand around, you're like oogly boogly, and you magical up your thing. But we won't be too strict with that, so don't worry. And material. For material components, it will say whether or not it has a gold value, and if the material is consumed during the spell. As this one doesn't have, say it has a gold value and it's not consumed during the spell, because we have our staff, we don't really have to worry about that. So it says mistletoe, but like don't worry about that. That's just if you have a component pouch. Some people, instead of using a staff or a wand to cast spells, they just like pull out a magical thing from their bag of goodies. But you don't have to worry about that. It's just for roleplay. So, Shillelagh, what does it do? Hold up, I have to go into invert because I'm a blind boy. You are holding is imbued, yada yada yada. For the duration, what is the duration? 1 minute. Oh, dope. So you can cast it at the start of combat and it lasts. Dope. And it's not concentration, so it won't stop. So you use your spellcasting ability instead of strength for the attack and damage rolls. Hell yeah. And the weapon's damage increases to a D8. Hell yeah. Oh, and it does force damage. Ah, bro, this spell is dope. So force damage is really cool because nobody in the game can like is like immune or resistant to force damage. So like you're gonna be hurting everything. And then at level 5 you actually get like a damage increase, which is pretty cool. So what does this look like for our druid? Well, we would put in our cantrips. I can't even remember how to spell it. You know what? I'ma just call it Shillelagh. That works. And because this is a spell that I would probably be using all the time, I'm gonna redo the stats for the quarterstaff, because if I have Shillelagh, I'm gonna be casting it on my staff anyway, so there's no point me having the base stats. Sure. So what will I write? Shillelagh. And it says I can use my wisdom instead of my strength. So we go from having a +2 to hit to having a 4 +2, so a +6 to hit. Hell yeah. And then our attack would go 1d6 to a 1d8 +4, because we can't add our proficiency to damage. And then I would go force. It's a bit too big. Okay. 1d8 force. Okay. My brain is huge. Cool. So that's our first cantrip. And then it might also be helpful to have a ranged attack. So what do we got? Poison Spray is a attack spell. I'm just looking if there's any cool ones. Oh, Starry Wisp, yeah. This one's dope. So yeah, you just look at all the stuff and you like make sure that it's on your list. And as this is like your first time playing, I'm gonna let you like, if you don't like a spell, just let me know. I'll feel free to replace it. It's all good. Yeah. So this one does 1d8 radiant damage, and it has extra stuff. Very cool. So what does that look like for us? We will write down Starry Wisp, and this is an attack roll. So I believe. Let me just double check. On a hit, yeah. So this means that it is an attack roll. Spell attack. There you go. It's a spell attack. So we go to our character sheet. Spell attack bonus +6. So we would write down. It's up here, silly. Starry Wisp 6. And then I believe it was a 1d8. And you never add bonuses to cantrips, unfortunately. Cool. Next, let's just show you how saving throw spells work, because spells and cantrips have like attack and saving roll ones sometimes, so it's, you can apply this to your spells as well. Make a range. Oh no, it is a spell attack. Okay, my bad, gang. Okay, Thorn Whip. I know this one is a saving throw. Constitution saving throw. So what does that look like? 1d6 thunder damage. Interesting. So Thorn Whip. Con save. Okay. This isn't like usually how people do. Basically, if you just write down like anything that can like Okay, you might just have to lock this one into your noggin. But basically, as it's a save, you don't make the roll. The monster that you're attacking has to make the roll. So if they fail, they take 1d6. Cool. So 1d6 thunder. Okie doke. And we would make sure to write it down. And then, like, you can fill out the rest. Now, the next important thing is spells. So, if we look at Druids, spell, at level 1, we get 4 prepared spells with 2 spell slots. So, what does that look like? Well, first we have 2 spell slots. And then for this, you can do it different ways. I like to just write down this, and then that means I have like 2 spells left, and then if I use one spell left, no spells left. And then every day it resets. So then you take a long rest, back to 2. Then you cast another spell, back to 1, back to 0. You get the idea. Now, you have 4 prepared spells. So every spell cast, or every character is different how they prepare their spells. Druids, they just get to pick 4 spells every long rest that they can use that day. Also, as part of the druidic feature, they always have speak with animals prepared. So what does that look like? It looks like your boy needs to be able to type. Hold on, blind moment. Okie dokie, what is going on? Huh. I don't even know what this is, bro. Oh well. Maybe you can't do that top one. Maybe that's what that means. Okay. Speak with animals. Baba boy. Sorry about all the zooming in and out. So that's always prepared. Just because, like, druidic feature. So what I would do personally is I would just like tick this one, and that will let you know never to remove it or anything. But obviously for like different classes, like for example for wizards, you can like learn spells, but like once you do that, you're stuck with them. So like, oh, and you can only prepare a certain number of spells. So you can know like, it's possible for a wizard to learn every single spell on their list. So like, all of these, like a druid could never have every single spell from level 1 to like all up here, but a wizard could. However, a wizard can't have all of them active at the same time. Now for a druid, you just have a certain number of spells that you choose from this whole list every day, but you can only choose a certain number per level. So for example, at level 1, you can only have 4 spells that you choose. And for the number of prepared spells, you have to choose between multiple different spell levels. Now at level 1, we only have access to first level spells. Same thing at level 2. But at level 3, and every odd level after, you gain a new level. So at level 3, you can prepare 6 spells. But you wouldn't want to prepare 6 first level spells because then you would have no use for your second level spell slots. So you might want to prepare like 4 first level spells and maybe 2 second level spells. But anywho, for now, we get to pick 4, and it changes every morning. So like, don't stress if you pick some spells and they end up being like absolutely garbage. But you pick 4 of these, and it's the same process as the cantrip. You just like jot it down here, and yeah, I would stick to keeping this for cantrips, just because like those are the ones that will never change usually. So yeah, I hope that helps. Don't worry, like if you forget the details in the game, I will help you. This is just like, please write down. The main thing is that you get this stuff correct and that you write down your spells that you want, because that will help me help you. Okay, hope this helps. Cool. Adios.